Coming to you from our Eros Park studios in the capital Windhoek. This is the Primetime News Midweek Edition. Thanks for joining me for the next 20 minutes as we make sense of the world around us. Good evening, I'm Michael Madimba. We commence our bulletin with a significant development in the Windhoek High Court. Judge Christy Liebenberg has delivered a verdict of guilt, convicting both Marcus Thomas and Kevin Townsend for the murder of Andre Hekma. Our legal correspondent Eba Kandovazo followed proceedings and now provides us with all the pertinent details. The duo was also found guilty on an alternate theft charge, while Thomas was also found guilty of illegally importing ammunition and possessing a firearm, as well as defeating the course of justice. Thomas defeated the course of justice when he stole a notebook belonging to an investigator, tearing pages from it and burning them. Judge Christy Liebenberg, who handed down the verdict, also ruled that the state witnesses and the matter answered the questions frankly and honestly, in a matter in which the two men were accused of fatally shooting Hekma at close range in a quiet street in Klein Windhoek on the 7th of January 2011. The deceased was also robbed of his cell phone and 100 Swiss francs. At the close of the state's case in May earlier this year, the convicted murderers opted to remain silent, despite pleading not guilty. They also did not call witnesses to testify in their favor. This, according to Liebenberg, strengthened the state's case. Thomas and Townsend were arrested on the 7th of January 2011 at a guest house in Windhoek West. State witnesses say the two were not in their rooms at the time of the murder. Commenting on the sideline of the ruling, Andre's parents, Birgit and Peter Hekma, say they are happy with the conviction but decline to comment further until the perpetrators are sentenced. Meanwhile, the Windhoek High Court has ordered former Windhoek Mayor Job Amupanda to fully disclose his financial status in his ongoing lawsuit against the government. Now, Amupanda is suing the government over the veterinary cordon fence, also known as the Red Line. He wants the court to declare that the erection of the veterinary cordon fence has not been carried out in terms of any law, thus unconstitutional. Once again, our legal correspondent Eba Kandovazo is tracking this developing story and files this report.
Amupanda has since lodged a counter-application to stop the High Court from ordering him to pay the defendant's legal fees should he be unsuccessful in his Red Line challenge. According to Amupanda, the lawsuit is of public importance, underpinned by social justice and not for personal or political gain. Judge Shafimana Weitele on Tuesday found that Amupanda did not satisfy all the requirements for his request, in that he did not fully disclose his financial situation. He has been ordered to submit his amended documents on 12 September 2023. A status hearing has been scheduled for 26 September 2023. Reporting for Primetime News, Diana Kauta.
Moving on. The Moses Garib constituency councillor, Stephanus Ndengu, says he sees firsthand how abject poverty impacts people's daily lives. Some of the poorest informal settlements in the Windhoek municipal area are located in Moses Garib, where the majority of people live in squalor, which is exacerbated by inadequate housing and sanitation. Ndengu, who was elected as the constituency councillor following a by-election earlier in January, stressed that people are streaming to his office daily begging for food. Linia Dishena brings us this report.
We as a constituency office, we used to approach many people so that they can help our constituency, because we are living with the people that they cannot able to help themselves. Most time in our office there, always people are coming, they crying. You can see that maybe for three days, you can see that a person is not might be eating for 3 days. As you can see there outside, today they are receiving their social grant, but the majority are youth. Those who were used to receive the food bank food, which is now transferred into cash, and they are now receiving their food there.
I've been in Havana suffering without a job. Before Harambee came on board, I used to get food at Central Hospital where pensioners receive food. Because I don't have parents and an income, so I used to receive food there. So when Councillor announced about vulnerable people in the area to be registered for Harambee food packages, I went and registered and I've been receiving food here.
Switching attention to the Otjizujupa region, where the Namibian Police Force have called on residents of Okakarara and visitors to the town's trade fair to cooperate with the police during the annual event which commenced on Monday. Our correspondent Shelva Wells is in attendance and compiled this report.
In an interview with Nampa recently, Nampol Regional Commander Hendrik Shivede said that over 10,000 visitors are expected to flock to Okakarara for the event and will return on Sunday to their different destinations in the country, which will run concurrently with the school's meet and break to start this Friday. He said since the gathering of this magnitude might entice some people to operate motor vehicles while under the influence of alcohol, they are ready to deal with those who will find themselves on the wrong side of the law. Shivede said that their operation commenced on Monday in Okakarara, where a sizable number of members have been deployed on patrols at roadblocks, police visibility and general crime prevention. He cautioned road users to be extra patient when traveling on the Okakarara or Complands, as well as Okakarara or Okonjatu gravel roads, as massive road constructions are underway on these public roads, adding that headlights should be switched on at all times due to dusty visibility. Reporting for Primetime News, Diana Kauta.
Stay tuned for the business segment as we bring you excitement from the Okakarara Trade Fair. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, your dedicated source for the latest business updates. In tonight's Primetime Biz segment, we shift our focus onto the Okakarara Trade Fair, currently underway in the town. Our crew, comprising producer Lydia Pitiri and correspondent Shelva Wells, are tracking events on the ground for us and inform us that the fair is a hive of activity. Now, to gauge the vibe at the fair, let's now listen into some interviews our crew had with some exhibitors as well as visitors earlier today.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are currently at the Okakarara Annual Trade Fair Center, and with me I am joined by Joshua Hamuniela from Senoret, who will be speaking to us about the TID rollover. Thank you so much for joining us, Joshua.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the TID rollover? Give us more detail as to what it entails and what it means.
TID is short for Token Identifier. This is a system upgrade that will be happening with all prepaid meters. So prepaid meters are basically the boxes that allows end users, these are people in the houses, people with businesses, that allows them to basically just load their electricity. So what is happening with this system upgrade is that the different system that used to operate within the meters is changing to a new system that will allow it to run for the next 32 years. So the initial system that was in these prepaid meters had a base date of 1993, and now it's rolling over to a new system that starts in 2014. So basically that system will then allow the prepaid meters to run for the next 32 years again.
Okay. So can you talk about the old system? What did it entail before this new system will now be implemented?
So the old system, there's really nothing complicated about it. It's just like the engine of your car. So this engine was now created with a specific base date, and when it's created, it only has a lifespan of 32 years. But now it is basically lapsed, and the new rollover needs to begin for it to run sufficiently to allow customers to load their electricity and to ensure that nobody's left in the dark, and everybody is basically able to switch on their lights and do everything that they need that entails or revolves around the need for electricity.
Now with change obviously comes expense.
I'm sure that there are people questioning whether this new system, would I need to pay for the upgrade? Will it affect the performance of my prepaid meter and so forth? But we're here to assure you that no. As long as this project basically runs up until November 2024, so all prepaid meters needs to be upgraded within that period. And so long as you open your doors to the Sinored people, they will be identified obviously via the different Sinored branding, which will also include the TID logo, and they will have their ID cards. As long as you let those people in and then they upgrade your prepaid, you will not be paying anything for it. So this is being done absolutely free for all Sinored customers. And with regards to the performance of your meters, everything basically goes on as normal. It will not make electricity run faster. You will not need to recharge 5 times a day now that you're only recharging once a month. Everything will run smoothly. It's just basically to allow the system not to be or to run for the next 32 years again, and to ensure that everything is running sufficiently and efficiently.
When do you plan on kicking off with the project?
Well, right now we're still busy in the planning phase, putting all the systems and just making sure all the procedures are still in place. But it should be in the next couple of weeks, because we now had the different people just joining the team. That is the technicians, the guys that will be responsible for putting the message into different towns. That is why we are live now at Okakarara, just to let the people know that no, this project is happening, and people should expect it to kick off anytime soon. But right now we're just putting all the systems and procedures in place, and once that is all done, then we kick off. But people should also keep tabs on our social media pages, this and official communication channel, because once the project is kicked off, this is where everything will be communicated to ensure that everybody is aware that it kicked off, and to basically open their doors to the Sinored guys to make sure that the upgrade is done sufficiently and efficiently.
Okay, so just for clarity, this change will happen in your existing operating
Yes.
towns.
So Sinored operates in 4 different regions, that is Ochodonjupa, Omaheke, part of Kunene, and part of Ochikoto. So all people within these 4 regions that are using prepaid meters, they would need to be upgraded to the new system. So within or before November 2024, this process, as I said, will be done for free. So as long as they open their doors, people within these 4 regions will be able to make the upgrade for them at no cost at all.
Okay, is there anything you would like to add as we close off the interview?
Just to add that this is something that is very essential, because at Sinored we believe that customers are our first priority, and nobody should be left in the dark, because when you're left in the dark, you're not able to perform what you are able to make sure that everything runs smoothly, to ensure that nobody is left in the dark and that nobody is switched off.
So much for joining us, Mr. Munyela.
It was a pleasure.
That was Joshua Munyela from Sinored giving us an update on the TID rollover project that is yet to be announced and will be kicking off in Namibia in all the operating systems. My name is Shalva Wells. Thank you for watching.
On to some trade statistics. Namibia exported goods valued at 8.3 billion Namibian dollars and imported 11.9 billion Namibian dollars worth of goods, resulting in the country's trade deficit of 3.7 billion Namibian dollars in July 2023. The Namibian Merchandise Trade Statistics Bulletin for July 2023, issued by the Namibia Statistics Agency on Tuesday, said the country's export earnings decreased by 3.8% from 8.6 billion Namibian dollars recorded in the previous month to 8.3 billion Namibian dollars. Here is more on this report.
The report indicated that the imports for the month under review increased by 17.8% when compared to the value recorded in June 2023 and by 12.5% compared to its value of 10.6 billion Namibian dollars recorded in July 2022. It further revealed that diamonds had the largest share of 30.5% of Namibia's total exports, ahead of uranium with 15.2% and fish with a share of 13.7%, whilst non-monetary gold accounted for 11.0% in fourth position, and petroleum oils came in fifth position, contributing 4.4%. The report further indicated that petroleum oils were the highest valued commodity with a share of 15.3% of total imports, followed by copper ores and concentrates with a share of 11.7%, while motor vehicles for the transports of goods came third with a share of 4.0%. Reporting for Primetime News, Salima Shimwefeleni Masipa.
Spring has certainly sprung with the advent of the warmer temperatures. Let's now consult the weather oracle on tomorrow's conditions throughout the country. Welcome to Sport Planet, our storyboard encompassing sport in action. Boxing headlines the segment. Amateur boxer Triagin Develo will be leading the Namibian team to the Senegalese capital, Dakar, where they aim to grab slots for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. With 18 Olympic quota spots up for grabs, the Paris 2024 Boxing Africa Olympic Qualifier Tournament will be held from the 9th to the 15th of September 2023. In an interview with Sport Planet on Tuesday, Joseph Titus Munda, the team's manager, said they have a good group of boxers and are confident of winning slots for the country at the championships. On to long-distance athletics. Organizers of the Namibia Half Marathon aim to upgrade the event to a World Athletics Bronze Label road racing competition with increased prize money. This year's edition, which is the 9th Namibia Half Marathon, is set to take place next week Saturday in Garib and is open to athletes of all genders aged 16 to 50 or above and will feature various age categories. In an interview with Sport Planet on Tuesday, Bethold Karumendo, the event organizer and senior sport officer in the Erongo Region's Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service, revealed this year's event would offer improved incentives. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. This is where we wrap it for the night. Much appreciated for tuning in tonight's broadcast. Do make another date with Primetime News tomorrow. A kind reminder that to be abreast with happenings within and beyond Namibia, do follow the prompts on your screen by subscribing to our channel. Do interact with us in the comment section as well, not forgetting to like, share our channel with a wider audience. We will continuously strive to bring you relevant and informative content. On behalf of myself, Michael Madimba, and the dedicated creators behind the curtain, it's good night.